Damn, would you look at that? Marvel finally figured out how to make a proper Disney Plus show instead of just pile of garbage. But wait, I can already see your fingers just like lightly starting moving to like the side of the screen, seeing all the other videos on the side, trying to click on one of them because your non-existent attention span. But wait, just give me a second, man. Let me give you some actual reasons why you should keep watching this video, or why are you even in this video, or just like just stay. Let me yap. Please. This show was kind of just like terrible, kind of to me at first. It was like, it had issues. But somewhere in the middle, more so at the end of the show, things changed that made me go like, mwah. This is peak. Disney and Marvel might have finally, after like so long, so many years, cracked the code to what used to make them even so special, what used to make us love Marvel so much, and just like what makes a good show. They cracked it. They found it. Wow. But if, I don't know, maybe Marvel learns from what they did in Daredevil and then use it in their future movies. I don't know, like Doomsday or maybe a Moon Knight 2. A Moon Knight 2 would be pretty peak, or just other shows. Then the peak era of Marvel, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, all of your favorite movies might return, like a movie similar to the Civil War or Infinity War, Endgame, Winter Soldier, Black Panther, all those like wonderful movies we used to have. This thing that Daredevil did, if they actually learn from it, we might go back to that glory. So hopefully now you see why I stopped you from clicking on another video. I beg you. Don't go. I'm gonna be homeless. Don't do this. We of course first need to find out what exactly changed to save the Daredevil show, to then figure out how we can bring back the glory days of Marvel. But I might say that right now, I might make you think like Daredevil was such a masterpiece that it single-handedly just saved Marvel. It had some terrible moments in the show. Some parts of the show were just like so It's like really that it just made me be like, why? But then after the part that I'm just gonna talk about how amazing it was, it happened, and I was like, okay, all the problems in this show, it's fine. Those other parts were such a glory, such a perfection, that I would say that Daredevil Born Again, I love it just as much as, I don't know, Loki 2, the best show in Disney Plus. So like, that says something. But about the bad parts of this show, for example, there was an episode in this show which just came out of nowhere. It had absolutely nothing to do with the core story or like anything happening in the show, and just even though it was fun to watch, it was pretty decent, we were just watching the Pacific Haste from GTA, this episode 5 was just a filler. It was the definition of a filler episode in a show, and I would have rather have like another episode about Muse to like spend more time with him, the character actually have something to do, something to be told about him. But nah, here is a filler that has absolutely nothing to do with the plot of the show. Cause oh boy, we're gonna talk about Muse too. We spent so much time in this episode basically going through the GTA all like Pacific Heist thing, as I said, and it was all for nothing. There was a diamond in this whole thing that was like the entire heist, god damn it. The entire heist was about, and we got the diamond was put in the candy, and the diamond, I was like, okay, this episode, that diamond, if and only if that diamond returns in a future episode or something, then I actually kinda like this episode, because they built up to that diamond in a really cool way, but nothing. And when I say nothing, I mean it. The diamond didn't come back, we heard nothing about it, nothing happened with it. The bank, who cares about the bank? Bank never came back either. Or maybe even the owner of the diamond, who sent people to go after the diamond. Why does the diamond matter so much? Is it just to like sell it? Well, that's kinda boring. Give it some power or something. Make me actually interested on the thing that is being like stolen. Nothing. You could have not watched this video. I mean this show. You could, no. The episode. Watch the show. The show is good. Only episode 5. You could have just not even watched episode 5, and it would have changed nothing about the experience. And again, why I'm kind of against this episode is because the resources to make this episode should have been saved to be spent on like one more episode on Muse. And Muse was easily like the worst villain in this show. We had like the police, the Sims, the clowns. We got those guys as villains. We got Kingpin, the goat, the legend, he's such a cool man. I love him, one of the best villains. His wife, who is even more like evil than him somehow. We got the... Amazing villains, all of them masterpiece, so well written, so much fun to watch them. And then we got this guy. Who are you? Nobody cares about you. You think just because you got a mask and it actually looks really cool, I love the design of it, we're gonna care about you? No, you suck. He kind of even reminded me of the Riddler, because like imagine if they used his arts as like clues about something he's about to do, kind of like the Riddler with blowing up the city. That would have been so cool, man. That would have made the character such a banger. Imagine like all the arts to Kingpin and Daredevil are just clues about his plans and everything, rather than just like drawing because I'm an artist, I wanna draw. No, give it a reason, give it a meaning behind the art that actually matters to the story. And I do also kind of like how they explained why he is like good at fighting, why he was able to handle himself against Daredevil. But when it comes to the rest of his story, when it comes to like character development, knowing why he does anything he does, he sucks. Terrible lore, terrible story. This is the exact same type of lore that Fortnite tells. They just come in, they're like, I'm so cool, I look so cool like Muse, and they got no lore, they got no depth, they got no nothing, they suck, kill them, shoot them again. One more time, rather than making him an actual interesting villain like the Joker and giving him a proper cool reasoning behind the things that he does. They just made his reasoning be like, well, I'm a weirdo, this is my true self, I wanna be a true self, I'm an artist who draws with the blood of people. Isn't that good enough? Isn't that enough like character development? Huh? I will beat your ass. But now, what about the drawings that he was making? What is the meaning behind that? Why does he care so much about Kingpin and so on? Is he planning to go against Kingpin in a cool way or so? Nah, man, nah. Remember how I saw like the Riddler? Everything he did actually mattered and he ended up with like explosion everywhere. Maybe they could have done the same thing with his art. It actually has meaning and like reached into somewhere. Nah. It had no meaning. It had nothing. There was no depth, no nothing. Just art. It's like imagine taking away the scene where Joker is trying to teach Batman a lesson while like having those two ships filled with people and one of them has to destroy the other so they survive and so on. Joker wanted to teach Batman how terrible and corrupt the people of the city are, but he was the one who learned the lesson instead because none of the two ships blew each other up, and that's what you call peak. Also, Cherry is one of the worst characters in this whole show. Like, I hate him so much. He sucks. My bro just like threw Daredevil away in the times that Daredevil needed him the most after like losing Foggy and everything. And just like, nah, man, nah. You wanna go back to being Daredevil? I don't wanna be with you anymore. You dumb, you stupid, you're actually making a good choice, but nah, I'm leaving. And then Blood. Has Blood fixed that he's at the end of the show, at the end when like Daredevil is like, we need to make a team. And he's there. He's sitting there. Bro thinks he's part of the team. But then, out of nowhere, suddenly the actors of this show are just like good men. The actors went after Disney like bap, bam, pow, and they bloody saved it. The actors of this show saved the show. Absolute goats, absolute legends. These actors, they deserve an Oscar. But how exactly did they save the show? Well, it seems like the original actors of the Daredevil show were pushing really hard for a different type of story and vibe for Born Again. It went on to the point that the Punisher's actor refused to play his role because it was like the story behind his character in this show. He felt like it's not really what the fans need, the character would be ruined and so on. He was like, listen, you did not cook with the script of my character, you're kind of ruining my character. You think I'm gonna come here just because you're giving me money to just like ruin one of my beloved characters I've played? Like, people are waiting for more of the Punisher. You think I'm gonna ruin it? Fix up the script if you want me in this show. It better be good this time or I'm gonna punish you. Now, that's exactly how you choose an actor for the role of their character. That's my goat. These very choices from the actors later on helped lead into like big changes being made into like the entire show. And when I say big, I mean really big. Like your mom. The entire show went for an overhaul with tons of reshoots and and episode 1, 8, and 9 were entirely new episodes that they didn't even used to exist. And interestingly, they're also the best, my most favorite episodes in this show. Pretty much the episodes that carry the show. So that says something. The entire writing and directing team and so on behind the show was completely changed, and guess what? The same people who made Loki season 2 the best or the only amazing Disney Plus show till now. Or even the same people who made Moon Knight, a pretty fun show. I enjoyed watching it a lot. It had some issues, but I still loved it. It was fire. These guys are the ones who replaced the original people behind the Daredevil show and the ones who are cooking now. You see the cooking now. Like episode 1, 8, 9, these people cooked it. Chef cook masterclass. Have you seen my cooking? I've been like recently cooking some egg and everything, posting it on Twitter. My eggs are so yummy, but this is even more yummy. These episodes have their own like unique look and visuals to them that make them stand out among like everything else. The wonderful way of using color filters or color lights to make the scenes just look as cool and unique and interesting as possible. And the fight scenes on like these 3 episodes, the fight scenes were just like, oh my god, the fight scenes. It all started with the Punisher getting into Daredevil's kitchen to cook and save my little baby Red. Then my man's full focus on that whole moment was on Matt's Perez. Then classic Daredevil just waiting for the right moment to go capiche, just right in the middle to surprise and break the formation of the cops. Then this absolute beast of an aura farmer, this like grizzly bear, just gets his dang shotgun just waiting outside behind the window and going BAM! Judge! Jury! Executioner! Your entire family line threatening my child, how dare you? I'm gonna go into hell or heaven, whichever you go, and I'm gonna kill you again. As then he just grabs the other cop's gun while it's shooting. If that's not aura farming, I don't know what is. Then my goat here is just flexing that ain't nobody as good as a fighter as him with guns. Except maybe John Wick. You know what? These two actually would be like best friends. I wanna see a movie with them. Then we got Daredevil on the side, just doing all the fancy wiggly biggly moves. My man just gets shot once and he just like goes like this. We get it, man. Then my boy just tells Frank to please stop killing them. You stop killing them. And the answer to that was,
how about him? He worth it?
Then point blank shoots the hand of this guy who hurt him just a tiny bit. All that for a drop of blood? You silly child. Chef kiss moment right here. Punisher slides here the thin layer of wall he finds and just tracks the exact placement of the police on the other side of the wall and goes bam bam bam. Wall bangs him. My bro thinks he's playing Rainbow Six or something. That's crazy. Then he starts feeling a little bit like the Snyder versus Batman, just jumping over and pulling the other cop down and just getting ready to grabbing his knife and going catch, catch. Then this part right here. Are you ready for this part? Daredevil saves the Punisher from a goon trying to shoot him, as then the Punisher also sees another goon trying to shoot Daredevil and just throws his knife point on, just sticking the man's hand onto the wall. And no, wait, not just that. Remember the guy who kind of just put a scratch on him with one bullet? My man knows exactly where the bullet casing of the person who shot him went to, and he goes to track it and he grabs it and he's like, huh, look at that. It's this one. It's the same one you gave me before. It's that guy. How did you remember where the bullet casing of the same bullet that hit you? That's crazy. This scene reminds me of the fights that we used to get in like the Winter Soldier, but mixed with John Wick and so on. Lots of blood and all of that. It was just so good. And now wait, the best part about all of this is the lore. The lore is so good. The lore is so deep. And the lore of the Punisher, seeing these like fanboys thinking that like, you're my role model, Punisher, I wanna be just like you, you're so cool. And the Punisher hears them, the Punisher sees all of them, looks into their eyes, into their souls, and just laughs at their faces and says, you think you know my pain? You think you know my lust? You admire me?
Bunch of clowns.
Also, one more thing I love about this show and the final episode so much. When Daredevil saved King Kingpin, I was like, okay, Kingpin is gonna just like calm down. They're gonna like be less aggressive towards each other. They're gonna be like, damn, my man, my enemy, the person I hate so much actually saved my life. I need to rethink my entire life and actually change a little bit. That's crazy. But nah, my expectations were just spinning around, just slapped into my face in the tastiest way possible. That sounds really weird now that I think about it, but it happened. Bro really said, I know that he saved me, but he's really weak right now. Why should I lose my golden chance to finally get rid of the Daredevil forever and kill him just because he saved me? If that's not like the most evil thing you have ever seen, I don't know what is. Someone saves you and you see a perfect chance to kill them? That's wild. That's also exactly how you write a story. I predicted something, you gave me another answer 10 times, 20 times better than the answer I had. So sure, the team behind Daredevil changed and they made the show have more of a unique style and look to it while adding in more like fun, comic accurate and like natures and things to the show, just like the Daredevil swinging, which was so cool, making the story and the fight scenes more exciting while getting the Punisher right. But how does Daredevil getting like saved like this from being a terrible show or just a mid show save Marvel? What does Daredevil have anything to do with Marvel and MCU going back to their glory days? What exactly saved the Daredevil show? A new team who were extremely confident in their abilities and the story they wanted to tell, and they also exactly knew how to make the show have its own style, have its own unique personality, casting actors who respect the characters they get to play, and wanting to deliver something with these characters that the audience deserve. Not just another role for me to play, more money, money in my bank account, money, woo, I love money. Actors who, if they see you mess up their characters, they're willing to make bold choices for the sake of their fans. And finally, doing things that affect the world of Marvel in grand, interesting ways that makes you interested in the future of the Marvel movies. And that's exactly what happens with these big alterations to the world of Marvel. If you paid attention to everything I said, all of the things I just talked about that make the Daredevil show be good are exactly the things that most of the Marvel movies in Phase 1, Phase 2 and Phase 3 had, and exactly what made it like them so special to the audience. The actor choices like Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, a person who studied the character himself and helped the writers and so on make sure that the character is designed as the fans deserve it. Same thing goes for Loki, Thor, Captain America and so on. Actors who are willing to go above and beyond with like fully understanding who they're playing as, and help the show or the movie runners get it right. Then at the same time, people making these movies who also understand what makes a good comic book movie and follows the source material in a decently good way. But most importantly, more important than every single thing I just said, big interesting events happening not just to the characters of the show, but the world of MCU as a whole. For example, the big New York fight in Avengers, which we followed up on many times because of how important the impact of it was on the world of Marvel. The same thing goes for Ultron and how he kind of was the cause of Civil War. The Thanos snap and how many times we followed up with that event, the changes, the effects it had on people's lives, them just like turning into dust and on dust. That was really cool. These things that I talked about were exactly what made like the MCU so amazing, so beloved, such like a cultural thing for everyone to watch. This was exactly what made people want to watch every single Marvel movie. They want to keep watching, okay, the world changed, now what's gonna happen with that? How is it gonna change now? What's happening to the world? All the 50% people going away? How does that affect everyone? That was the coolest thing about Marvel. But the coolest part of MCU sadly was lost in Phase 4 and Phase 5, and the big reason for that was Disney+. Then extreme focus on quantity instead of quality made just coming up with these like world big like changes and everything way harder. The only huge interesting world change that we got in Phase 4 and Phase 5 was the freezing a huge celestial in the ocean. That was actually kinda sick. And it was just perfect to build upon that event. How does it affect the world? People talking about it, hearing like what the government and everything is thinking to do with it. What is even gonna happen with that thing. Can you mine it, do interesting things with it? But it took them like a whole year or maybe 2 years to actually just like be like, okay. We know we had like a massive celestial in the ocean. Let's not talk about it for 1 year or 2 years. Just be there, and then after 2 years you suddenly remember that, oh yeah, we did something cool. Let's actually build up on it. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you? And that world building was like the best thing about MCU. So it needs to become their best thing again. And like the whole multiverse everything thing has been hurting it a lot. The Daredevil show is the only project in a really long time that has made me interested onto the world of MCU itself again. The way Kingpin is taking over it and like the task force and the New York lights just like suddenly going away. Everything is a mess now. People are killing each other. It kind of feels like Gotham now. It's so cool. This is how you do world building. It also makes me be like, dang, what the f was Spider-Man doing in this situation? Or the Thunderbolts, their tower is legit in New York. So how do they feel about the power just suddenly going away? So we definitely need more things like this. We need more shows or more movies in the future referencing this event that happened in like the Daredevil show. How New York is kind of like Gotham now. The heroes and so on dealing with that. We need to see this happen and just like build up stories based on this cool event in the future. And please, I beg you, please don't just like waste the potential of this just like you did with the Celestial. The next Spider-Man movie, if it's kind of in this dark world, that would genuinely be so cool. I'm hyped for the future of Marvel if they get it right. And that's about it. I'm tired, man. Like this video and subscribe if you enjoyed it and everything. Then like again and put a comment on all of that. Bye bye.